Hey, everybody. Good to see you. So, if you're keeping a close eye on things, you'll notice that tonight's live is actually pre recorded just a couple of hours beforehand here in England, and that's because my wife and I have finished the adoption of a lovely little baby girl. And her dinner time coincides with this live time, so need to use technology in order to keep everything running and happy and achieve that good work life balance, like I always talk about here. For those of you who are new here, I'm Rod Gamble, and I coach clinical professionals out of bedside burnout and into digital health careers that actually hold them up and let them, sort of keep going. So, this is for any nurse, doctor, AHP who's ever finished a shift, sat in the car for 10 minutes before driving home, and wondered if this is genuinely all there is. Um, so, a quick one before we start, drop me a line in the comments if you're still clinical. Drop me a number one if you're still clinical. Drop me a number two if you've already made the leap into digital health. I want to see sort of who's showing up. Tonight, I want to talk about something most people never warn you about, and it's the thing that breaks more digital health transitions than any technical skill gap ever has, and it may not be what you think. So, um, so thinking back, my first month in digital health, oh, so excited to be away from the bedside and doing the thing that I love. And I scheduled myself into oblivion. I picked up all the work nobody else wanted. Nobody else had to ask me to do it. I confused motion with value because motion was the only definition of my value that my nervous system had ever known. It was strange finishing work and feeling guilty at 5 p.m. and sort of being present for real life, real family, real friends, that sort of thing. And my family and friends didn't know what to do with me. You know, it was like the real version of me. Um, and it was my first break from that medical waiter kind of mindset where I show up with vancomycin and butter because those are all the things that need to be brought, right. I'd been serving someone else's emergencies for so long that I didn't know how really to sit at my own table. The sacrifice we make in the clinical space isn't just for hours, it's a version of ourselves that our families never really get to meet. So, the quiet is not the problem. The quiet is the point. I'll say it again. The quiet is not the problem. The quiet is the point in digital health. Um, in regular clinical work, we learn to be in a state of hyperarousal and hypervigilance. Your body learned that survival required perpetual motion. It'll fight to recreate that chaos, even when the chaos is the thing that's been harming you. Mount Sinai just rolled out Microsoft's Dragon Copilot system, system-wide this year. Ambient AI scribe, taking all the documentation burden off clinicians, blah, blah, blah. Research is showing that AI is returning between 1 and 4 hours per nurse per shift, so it's working. And the controversial part is the clinicians who benefit the most from that are the ones who can sit with the extra hour instead of filling it. The tools are arriving. The nervous system retraining is a bottleneck. And if you make that jump into digital health, it'd be a bottleneck for you too. This is one of the things that you have to learn, and it is not clinical or technical. It's maybe psychological. 42% of clinicians are actively considering leaving healthcare. That number's not going down. The ones leaving well are the ones who can let go of busyness as an identity. If your value to your team is measured by how exhausted you are at the end of the day, you have not left the bedside. You've just changed the wallpaper. There's a lot of specific roles here: clinical informatics specialist, digital transformation lead, AI implementation clinical advisor, remote clinical consultants. These roles pay 80,000, 150,000 a year in the UK, 120 to 220,000 in the US, and consulting work compounds beyond that. So if you're not taking a pay cut to escape, you are not taking a pay cut to escape shift work. You're taking a pay rise to escape shift work. It's a big difference. For me, I took originally a tiny little pay cut, like about 3,000 a year, for about the first 6 months, and then poof, it was gone, and I just went on after that. Also, it doesn't matter which vendor or software you want to pick or use. There's not going to be one that's like the ultimate solution. There's Epic, Cerner, Meditech, doesn't matter. Your edge really is your clinical judgment, and that can be applied to any of them. The platform is interchangeable. You're not. Right now, 2027 to 2029, we're in an AI mandate window. So AI adoption is following the identical trajectory that EHR and EPR adoption did 15 years ago. The NHS 10-year workforce plan is reshaping staffing this year. 3 in 10 GPs are already using AI in consultations, and the clinicians who position themselves now will capture the premium roles before the market floods. The window does not stay open forever. So the before and after here. So for me, and then hopefully for you, picture before is your 12-hour shifts sitting in a car before you walk into that building, and then after to try and gird your loins and sort of recover from it. All of the patient messages, the takeaway delivery, food that you couldn't cook at home because you didn't have enough time, and you missed a date with your spouse or whatever. After 90 minutes of deep work that produces more value than your old 8-hour or 12-hour shift ever could. And it ends at 5, and you go home with a sense of completion instead of survival. White space on your calendar. It doesn't mean you're lazy. It's where the strategy happens. I used to measure a good day by how many crises I got through, and now I measure it by how few I create or even see. So this isn't about working less. It's about working differently. The income goes up, not down. Just recently, I had my last 2 clients. They've suffered through this, right? They've started their digital health careers. They've gone into their digital health work, and they've got that old brain in place. And poof, they want to sort of recreate the same kind of success that they had before, which means they got to be as busy as they were before. Yeah. That's not what creates success here. What creates success is sitting, thinking deeply, solving the real problems, making the contributions that your non-clinical colleagues cannot, and then having them be grateful for you on the team. It's a whole paradigm shift. It's pretty fantastic. So you may be thinking, I can't afford to leave clinical. Well, from my perspective, and perspective of everyone who I've helped to transition, you can't afford to stay. Consulting and digital health roles routinely pay more, and the intel, the layoff lesson that you get from working for one of the big corporations, like I did at Intel, is that employment actually carries the same risk as freelancing, but with half the compensation. You also may not think you're technical enough. Doesn't matter. Clinical expertise is the rarer asset. I funded a computer science degree that I never needed. I never used. Vendors will train you on the platform. They will not be able to train anyone with your clinical judgment. And if code needs to be written, do what I did earlier today. Have AI write it for you. Very simple. Speaking of AI, won't AI replace these roles too? Yeah, no. AI is creating these roles. Someone has to translate between the AI and the clinical people using it. That someone is you, if you position now. The AI, however smart it is, doesn't touch patients. That's only what real clinical people do. So until the robots come along and they get AI and the whole world has changed and we live in the future with the Jetsons, it still needs translation. And that's you, and it cannot replace you. So if tonight resonated for you, here's what I want you to do. Send me a message with the word roadmap, all caps, why not? I'll send you a career transition guide, and I'll see if we should work together. Or, you can visit rodgamble.com. The link is in my bio. It's also just rodgamble.com. Next week, we'll go deeper into stuff on the financial side, what roles actually pay, consulting income progression, and multiple revenue streams, that sort of thing. Hit follow so you don't miss it. And remember, you did not work this hard, sacrifice this much, and earn this expertise just to end up exhausted again under a new job title. The life on the other side of the bedside is real, and it does not require you to keep running forever. I hope everyone's having a good evening. I'm going to sign off and go take care of our little one. All right, see everyone soon. Bye for now.